You have to hand it to Triumph Motorcycles for staying true to its soul with the Speed Triple. Triumph has always had a certain sense of attitude and allure surrounding it. For me, it was its classic Bonneville twin from the early 70s that fueled my imagination about motorcycling. The first of the modern Triumph models to become a neo-classic was the Speed Triple, which first appeared in 1994. That bike ushered in a whole new era of enthusiasm for Triumph that is still going strong today. Some may have forgotten that Triumph made a triple back in the pre-John Bloor era, the Trident, which was very similar in appearance and design to the twins of the time, and nothing like the triple that powers modern bikes, the Speed Triple. Ever since Triumph's resurgence back in the early '90s, the company has produced a wide range of bikes that are style-oriented and practical, but still retain the character and charisma that make Triumphs truly unique. Since '94, the Speed Triple's core design principles have remained intact. A brutish up-bar cafe-style motorcycle. The term Streetfighter was coined from that bike and has stuck ever since. Sales of Supersport 600 and 1000cc bikes have declined sharply in past decade. Triumph's focus is now on developing motorcycles that are less about racing pedigree and more about all-around usability and street performance. Even though the Speed Triple R is less sophisticated than the glamorous 1000cc superbikes, it possesses its fair share of high-tech electronics, allowing a wider variety of riders to enjoy the bike in more places, street, track, or commuting. The new 2016 Speed Triple S and R models may seem similar to their predecessors, but they have evolved quite a bit. A redesigned 1050cc three-cylinder power plant incorporates 104 design changes. The result is an increase in torque across the entire rev range and peaking at 83 pound-feet at 7,850 RPM. Peak power output is up as well, now measuring 140 horsepower at 9,500 RPM. Key changes to the liquid-cooled inline 3 include new pistons, crankshaft, a redesigned cylinder head complete with a new combustion chamber and better flowing intake ports, new balancer gears, new gear ratios for the transmission, and a new slipper clutch. Equally important is the new ride-by-wire throttle system and ECU that's borrowed straight from the Daytona 675R Supersport model. The system features 5 rider modes with interchangeable ABS and traction control settings. New throttle bodies are fed by a redesigned airbox, which has a new, more direct air intake inlet positioned between the redesigned dual headlights. A lighter and better flowing, acclaimed 70% exhaust system completes the equation, resulting in enhanced throttle response, better emissions control, and a 10% increase in fuel efficiency. Even the tone of the exhaust has been amplified to show off that signature sound. The introduction for the 2016 Speed Triple took place just outside of Barcelona, Spain. Greeted by sunshine but cold temperatures, we focused the R model, which has the same power output as the S model, but features Öhlins suspension components front and rear. First up, we hit the motorway, which is important because at some point everyone will do time on the freeway. Triumph's Big Triple never hesitated or coughed while modulating the throttle, simply providing smooth and steady fuel delivery. Roll-on performance is quite good with plenty of usable grunt across the rev range. Lucky for me, the Speed Triple was comfortable and accessible. At first, I thought that the bike felt smaller than the previous Speed Triple, which got me wondering if it had new chassis? But no, I was wrong. The engineers told me that the chassis was the same, but that the seating position had been modified. The redesigned seat has a smaller central pad and is 20 mm narrower at the front with sloping sides, complemented by a tank that is narrower at the back between your knees. This change moves the rider further forward and more over the front of the bike, helping to provide better weight transfer to the front tire. Triumph also focused on fine-tuning the gear ratios in the transmission. On the motorway, the Speed Triple rolls along at 70 miles per hour in 6th gear at around 6,500 RPM. On twisty mountain roads, where precise gear shifting is mandatory, the Speed Trip's tranny was very smooth and tight, lacking any jerkiness or notchy feel between ratios. Downshifts were equally smooth, with the new slipper clutch providing just the right amount of give to match rear wheel speed to engine RPM. Gear ratios were well suited to the speeds for the roads I was on.